fingerprints. I normally do, but I've got cyanoacrylate or crazy glue in my fingers right now. Just on this.
Yeah, perfect.
So there may be a few gaps there where they...
Okay. Perfect. So Wade has provided us with his fingerprints on both the docking card as well as a mug. This is what you typically see on CSI or wherever. It is your basic fingerprinting and lifting method. So we're using a magnetic brush today, and it's a magnetic black granular powder. So it's granular powder mixed with iron filings just to make it magnetic. And as you see when I pick it up with the brush, it creates kind of a bulb as it's picking up. It's pretty cool. So that's it right there. So as you can see, what you do is you simply use it as a paintbrush and you just dust it over top of the print, and then you would lift this portion right here, and that's actually going to release the magnet, and then you can pick up the excess again with the magnetic wand. And once you focus, you'll see the clean print there. We also do the same type of method with fluorescent powder. So this would be used in a scenario when you have a colored surface, or if you have some sort of patterned surface and you can't see just the plain black granular powder or any other solid granular powder, you can use the fluorescent powder, and you can turn off the lights and it will actually glow when you introduce alternate light sources, and then you'll actually be able to see it despite the pattern.
In most cases, the powder selection is either because of personal preference, because of whoever's doing the powdering themselves, and they've been comfort level with a certain color or type of powder. And other times, as Elena said, it could be because of the background. Maybe it's a confusing, noisy background where one color powder is not going to give sufficient contrast, so it kind of overcomes that. What we can do here, now without blinding people, I'll just shine this around. Now, this is one of the alternate light sources. This is this particular wavelength is 450 nanometers. So if you remember the slide earlier, talked about we're talking about X-rays and where visible light fell onto that electromagnetic spectrum. Visible light is about 400 to 700 nanometers, the wavelength. And this is, as I said, 450, so it's down towards the bottom of that visible spectrum. So it will react with the fluorescent fingerprint powders. Now, can we turn the lights on a bit here? And we have the viewing plates here for you, right? So I don't know how effective it's going to work trying to focus it. Can we try and see? Because the document camera probably doesn't know what we're trying to do here. But, hard to see the detail because it's got so much fluorescence and the document camera really doesn't know what it is that we're trying to do. Okay. We've been informed, by the way, you guys are all thinking you get lunch in 15 minutes. You're not, were you? Please don't throw things. We're going to just extend it a little bit longer because our timelines were all off a little bit this morning, so we've got a few minutes.
So another form of fingerprint lifting can be done using Camphor Smoke. So this is typically used for when you have a metal surface, specifically galvanized metal, and that is basically the process of rust proofing, in which you would introduce zinc plating over top of it just to coat it from rust, but it does actually prevent the fingerprint powder from sticking as well. So in this case, you would use camphor, which is a chemical. It's commonly found in Vicks, and you simply light the camphor, and the soot will be produced, and the soot is what sticks to the fingerprint itself, and you would brush this away, and you'll unveil a fingerprint afterwards. So we're about to demonstrate that.
Physically drained. We're trained professionals, people. We'll try this at home. So this technique works extremely well on metals, but particularly galvanized metals. Some of you may be thinking that's crack cocaine, but so the idea behind this is the entire surface that's being examined for fingerprints is coated with the soot. But the soot will adhere considerably better to the latent fingerprint and clear off the background once it's dusted with a camel or a squirrel hair brush. You could put it right down on the table. Is that better or no?
You get the idea.